Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, today is the day I'm gonna make the video that I kept talking about. It's gonna be a different type of video that I'm gonna make. So here it is, here it goes. I hope it goes well. This is really awkward for me and you because this is the longest I've ever been on camera. So today I'm just gonna talk about who I am, what I do, what I fly. This is really like a late 1000 subscriber chat video giveaway. I didn't say giveaway, but whatever. We'll see how this goes. So let's get started. I am Ballman FPV. No, actually, my name is Josh. I fly FPV drones here, first-person view drones, and that's what my YouTube channel is about. So I've been flying for about 6 years now. Yes, I know it's a long time, and I suck for how long I've been flying. But I didn't really get serious about this until 2019. I started YouTubing more often and making more different type of videos. So yeah, that's what I am. That's what I do. And all these drones are what I fly, but these are different type of setups. So primarily I fly 3 of these drones most of the times, and they are this one, and this one. So these two are who is it? Impulse RC. Impulse RC Apexes. The greatest, toughest freestyle 5-inch frame that's out there. These used to be identical, but they're not anymore. I flew KISS on one for a while, and I had one on Betaflight. The KISS one blew up. Flew great, but it blew up. It didn't last, and I kept finding myself coming back to the Betaflight one. So this one is running a. This one has old electronics, so DYS F4 Pro V2 flight controller, which you can't really buy anymore, and SpeedX GS45 ESC. Now this is OG hardware that I know will last and last and last, which is why it's still on here. DRS F4 Pro V2. That's just how long it's been lasting. SpeedX GS45. I have that on a couple of these builds. I have it on this one, but we'll get to that one later. Zing 2 motors. These are really, really great motors. Really, really smooth. And I really like these motors. Foxeer Falcor, Foxeer T-Rex FPV camera, like the greatest analog camera, like hands down. Like Foxeer is the reason I still fly analog, because they continue to make great analog cameras. Foxeer is single-handedly saving analog. For VTX, I found that the TBS Unifies are like the best VTXs as far as reception and reliability. True RC OCP antenna. Now, I usually do the TBS Triumph antennas. TBS does have great VTX video transmitter components, but this OCP antenna is great. It is on par with Triumph Pros, and it is cheaper. So I have that on, well, this is the Triumph Pro, but all of my new quads, I have the OCP antennas on to save money and get the same performance. Yeah, so this one is running this is kind of like my experimental Apex. It's running currently a Hobbywing convertible stack with the F7 and the new 60-amp ESC. I had on here before a SpeedyBee stack with the Bluetooth, which was really, really great, but for some reason, something weird happened, and I hate to say it, but it blew up somehow. I don't know what it was, but basically one of the ESCs or something shorted, and solder splashed up on the bottom of the flight controller and shorted some pads together that shouldn't have been touching, and that was the end of that. So I went with this Hobbywing convertible stack. These motors are these are hybrid motors. So these are Smoogs 2206 2550 kV stators or bottoms or windings with RCX Yes, RCX. Which ones are these? RCX NK2306 bells. So these bells are like really tough. RCX motors, you can get these from my RC Mart. It ships from Hong Kong, but really great motors, really tough. I put those next to the Hyperlite Team Edition motors that I also really stand by. But as you can see, I like to try different stuff. So yeah, this quad also has a TVS Unify with the TVS Triumph Pro, and again, T-Rex camera up front. And I've been experimenting with the F3s, Gemfan F3s, and this one has the F5.26 props on it that I've been playing around with. So yeah, Dose Apex, Dose Impulse RC Apex, and I got this thing, which is my favorite frame aesthetically. This is the Hyperlite Free Range frame from Pirate RC. Now this frame is really unique because it has an aluminum back plate. Really nice, unique, slim design. Now I'll tell you, this frame is stronger than you think it is. Like, this frame has been through a lot of abuse. It has exceeded my expectations on durability, and it also looks really nice. So yeah, these are the Hyperlite Team Edition motors that I just really stand by. These things are really tough. You're either gonna destroy the magnets or the bearings before you bend the motor shaft bad enough to where it doesn't spin anymore. So yeah, really great motors. Again, Foxeer T-Rex, True RC OCP antenna, and on here I am running a Tramp, Immersion RC Tramp VTX. I am an Immersion RC guy because I run Immersion RC Ghost. So this VTX is pretty good. Now on paper it doesn't look as good because it only does 600 milliwatts, but I still get really good video, no complaints. I hadn't really done like a side-by-side comparison between the Tramp and the Unify. The Tramp is like $10 cheaper than the, no, it's yeah, $10 cheaper than the Unify. The Tramp maxes out at 600 milliwatts and the Unifys go to 800 milliwatts. Another Speedix GS 45 amp 4-in-1 ESC on this bad boy, and I have a Flywoo Goku F4 VTX on it. For my goggles, I'm running SkyZone Sky 030 goggles with the VAS patch antenna. I don't know which one this is, but this is like the OG one. And I'm using a Ethics. I should have did more studying before I made this video. But basically, this is the Mr. Steel goggle setup. Alright, I use what he uses. This is their dipole antenna. This is their patch antenna. It doesn't have the Ethics written on it, but still the same thing. Great goggles. You cannot find these anymore as well. They don't sell these anymore brand new anywhere. But the best budget OLED goggle you can find right here. Great DVR, great picture, and I think it's better than the Fat Shark HDO2s. On paper they're the same, but it's just something about these that these goggles are a lot more vivid and lively than the HDO2s. Yeah, great goggles. However, I do notice that the guys with the rapid fire modules, they get better range and reception than I do. So that's something I want to upgrade to later on in the future. Yeah, send it. Okay, transmitter QX7, really basic, but gets the job done. I did upgrade the gimbals to the Hall sensors, so I got the Hall sensor gimbals. I got these big umbrella stick-ins because I use my thumbs when I fly, just how I learned. I use my thumbs, so these big grips allow me to like recenter my thumbs a lot because I recenter my thumbs a lot. It's just more surface area for my thumbs. On the back, I am running Immersion RC Ghost. Immersion RC Ghost has been great. I hadn't had any issues except when I went to Atlanta. I just had a I had a meltdown in Atlanta, and it turned out to be a bad receiver. I brought 2 different quads with me. I tried to switch to a different quad. That quad had a different camera on it, and I just couldn't switch like that in the middle of the day. I was also a little, or whatever. It was my birthday. It was a birthday trip, so I had some stuff the night before, and yeah, I kind of paid for it. So now Ghost has been like really solid. All the receivers and all the quads up here, they work great. I hadn't had any more issues. Besides I had bad luck with the hybrid modules that they have. It's just a risk you take being new and trying new stuff. I've gone through 2 hybrid modules. They both just pooped the bed for no reason. Immersion RC didn't believe me, but that's what happened. All right. So next, what have I learned in flying FPV? I'm going to tell you some things that I've learned. So this is kind of like 1,000 subscribers / sponsorship video. I will say, to begin, my first sponsorship with Gemfan Hobby. They sponsor me for propellers. Even though it's just propellers, it is the most expended item in this hobby. You go through propellers more than anything. So I'm grateful and honored to be sponsored by Gemfan. Gemfan, thank you so much for the opportunity. You make great propellers. They've been making propellers for, they're probably the longest. They've been around for a while, I'll say that. They probably go back further than any other propeller manufacturer, and my neighbor's dog is howling. But we're gonna ignore that. So yeah, Gemfan, great propellers, great variety. You should check out their propellers. So getting back on track, what have I learned? If you want to get sponsored, you should fly products that sponsor people. That's been my issue for like the longest. As you can see, I fly a lot of old stuff and a lot of brands that don't sponsor people. If you want to get sponsored, fly brands that are actively sponsoring people. So find out who those brands are, fly their product, post their product, talk about their product. Of course, you want to talk good about their product. Don't badmouth any product, even if you don't like them. Don't badmouth anybody or anybody's product on the market. You don't have to do that. The next thing, as you can see, I have the T-Rex, which is my favorite camera so far, on my primary quads. I would like to switch everything over to the T-Rex. So I'm saying that to say that you want to have consistent camera and consistent camera angle. That's very important when you're flying proximity. That's going to affect your depth perception, your latency, how you see things, because the way you see things is the first feedback and the most important feedback that you have when you're flying a quadcopter. And yeah, there is, latency is real. Latency is very real. If you don't think it's real, switch from, I'm gonna say, the most direct camera with the less latency. It's probably gonna be a Predator, a Foxeer Predator series camera, or Mr. Steele's Runcam Swift 2 camera, his signature camera. And the most latency is probably, from my experience, is gonna be the Foxeer Toothless 2. Great image. Oh man, I love that camera for like the longest. I thought that was the greatest camera. And it is the greatest camera as far as image. But I realized that the latency was just out of this world. And then you have DJI, which is HD. I don't fly HD, but people say the latency on DJI is like very, very high. They say that it's variable. So the thing to do if you want to experience latency is to switch from one of those cameras, a low latency camera, to a high latency camera, and you will notice it. No, the quad with the low latency camera does not have higher rates. It's not spinning faster. That's the camera with less latency that you see. That's what you're observing. All right. So that is real. Camera. Be consistent with your camera. Also, you want to be consistent with your powertrain of your quad. That affects how the quad handles, how the quad throws when you do power loops, if you like to do wall rides. The powertrain and the camera depth perception is really, really important to those things. I still fly 4S. It's not a problem for me. I like to do 4S 2550 kV at the least. Really, there's no higher. That's 2700 kV, which will make you faster. But the sweet spot for 4S is 2550 and above. 2400, you can do it in close proximity, but if you're flying a big spot with 2400 4S, it can get kind of slow and a little bit boring. So that's what I like to fly for 4S. The next thing I've learned is outside of flying, you want to support other people. Support them on Instagram, support them on YouTube, like their stuff, comment on their stuff. Now this is hard to do when you live in your own everyday life and you're trying to make your own content. But try your best to like just, visit your friend's page and give them comments, like, subscribes, all that stuff. It's really crazy because some people take this really, really serious. They take subscriptions and stuff really, really serious. There's been times that I fly with people who are my friends and I'm not even subscribed to their channel. Like, it's crazy. And yeah, we're friends, but and sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you from people. So yeah, just do your best at that. Not only do you support other people's channels, but other people have products that you should support as well. So I'll list, for example, frames. There are a lot of people who are making their own frames, and these frames are just as good, stylish, and tough as all the name brand frames. So I'll name a few. For example, Ken FPV, Woodchuck FPV. I saw some of their frames in person and they look great. You should go check them out. And these frames are cheaper than the name brand frames. You're supporting the community. You've been a part of the community. What else? What was I gonna say? And yeah, you're supporting them and you're helping them help the hobby. All right. What else? What else have I learned from flying? Mini quads. Yeah, and I'll say for the longest, I've been just doing this for myself. Like, that's the most important thing. Do this for yourself. Don't do it for likes, subs, subscriptions, sponsorships. Do it first because you love to do it. And that's what I've been doing for the longest until late 2019. I'll tell you the truth, where I'm from, no one really vlogged, made YouTube videos, pushed content. I'm originally from Mississippi. I started flying in Mississippi. Small scene. We get together on the weekends and we fly. If we had good videos, fine, we post them on YouTube, maybe, but mostly we post them on Facebook. I post most of my early videos on Facebook, and I started doing the YouTube. I moved to Alabama again. A few more people flying in Alabama, but nothing crazy. Yeah, nothing crazy. But when I moved here to Florida, wow, everybody is in Florida. All the great pilots are in Florida. Atlanta, yeah, you have the best spots, but the best palettes are in Florida. So I got here to Florida and I came across Erod Yo at a freestyle competition. We tied for second. He was like, man, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have Instagram? I was like, nope. And even when I did the freestyle competition, I put my name in as Josh. My initials are actually JKL. I put my initials in as my palette name. I didn't even have a palette name in 2019. So yeah, that's kind of where Baldman FPV first started, because as you can see, I am bald. And I figured it was time for an FPV name, and that's when I did the FPV name. So yeah, shout out to Erod. Erod just took off to the moon. Like, he actually won the tie for second place. Well deserved, great pilot, really good pilot, good guy, very talented. So I'm not gonna even say go check out his YouTube channel, because if you're watching my YouTube channel, you probably know who Erod Yo is. All right. So for the final thing I'm gonna talk about is, of course, I have to give away something because I'm at 1,000 subscribers, and that's what people do when they get 1,000 subscribers. It's like a subscriber anniversary. So what are you gonna get? Because things are changing by the second, I can't tell you exactly what you're gonna get, but you're gonna get a fully built, ready to fly quad that is built and tuned a little bit by yours truly. Now you're gonna be this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be really excited to get this quad. You're gonna go out, you're gonna go and fly it, and it's gonna feel like shit. And you're gonna say, wow, I don't see how Baldman flies the way he does with a shitty quad. So don't expect it to be a miracle. It's not gonna make you fly like me. It's not gonna make you fly like Mr. Steel or it's not gonna make you fly like me or Mr. Steel. It's just gonna be a regular old vanilla quad. All right, you're gonna get a fully built quad, and you're going to get for sure some F3 props by Gemfan, and there are 4 props, Freestyle 4 and Freestyle 3 props. Now these are going to be V2 props that don't have the breaking issue. These props work really good. Like, they feel great. Prop wash is great. Response is great. Handling is great. Everything about these props is really great. You're gonna like them. If you hadn't tried them, you're gonna like them. Gemfan is trying to get these props in as many hands as possible, because they know that these are good props. So that's what you're gonna get. Now, to be eligible, of course, you have to be subscribed to, not me, because this isn't about me, this is about Gemfan. You have to be subscribed to Gemfan's Instagram page, their YouTube page, and then my Instagram page and YouTube page. So to enter, just comment on this video, like this video, and share this video, and you can win a mysterious quad built and tuned by me, and not just 1 or 2 bags of these props, but several bags of those props. And you will switch to either one of those props and you'll be set for life. All right, so thanks for watching this video. If you're still here, I suck at intros, I suck at vlogging. You probably never see this again, so I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.